To deal with the record number of migrant children at the border right now, FEMA has been ordered to help the Department of Homeland Security find places for these children. Joining us right now is Mark Morgan, former acting commissioner of Customs and Border Protection and visiting fellow at the Federation for American Immigration Reform. Mark, good morning.
Morning, Jan.
First, you know when you're calling in the team that's used for natural disasters to help that there's a problem here. What message is being sent here about what's taking place there when we know that FEMA is now going to assist Border Patrol?
Look, Representative Cato, I think, said it best, and you just referred to that, is that, look, anytime FEMA is involved, by its very definition, it's a disaster. You know, emergency mitigation is part of FEMA's mission statement. So this should send a message to the American people loud and clear that this is absolutely a self-inflicted crisis that we're in right now. But Janet, here, even more importantly is that what they're doing substantively does not meet their message, right? So they've been just late because they realize they've created this crisis. They're saying to the migrants, pretty please don't come yet. But everything they're doing substantively from a policy or facilities wise, they're saying the opposite. And with FEMA getting involved, the message they're sending is, hey, if you build it, they will come. It reminds me of Kevin Costner in the Field of Dreams. Look, they are building these facilities. FEMA's getting involved for one reason only, so they can more effectively process and release these illegal aliens in the United States faster than ever before.
Mark,
that's what we're looking at.
Mark, today House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy is leading a delegation of Republican lawmakers to the southern border. What should we expect to come out of this trip?
Look, I think what we're going to really get is just a reconfirmation of what we're already learning, that the numbers. Look, in February, over 100,000. That's a 170% increase from this time last year. We have over 8,000 in custody. 4,000 of those are unaccompanied minors. Since January, they've released 14,000 illegal aliens into the interior of the United States. We're receiving 4,000 to 6,000 a day illegal apprehensions. Look, Jan, I could go on and on. That's what they're going to learn. So they're going to learn the reality on the ground and facts rather than misinformation and spin that this administration is providing. And I hope they're going to come back with some really concrete examples of some solutions that we need to do to go forward.
Well, Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi was asked about the migrant surge this week. And I don't know if you heard this over the weekend, but take a listen.
This is a humanitarian challenge to all of us. What the administration has inherited is a broken system at the border, and they are working to correct that in the children's interest.
Mark, you worked at the southern border during the Trump administration. Did the Biden administration inherit this problem?
Well, you know, Jan, I tell you what, this is so frustrating from an American citizen now, the spin and the lies that are being told across the board. First of all, our immigration system has been broken for decades. And the last time I checked, the Speaker of the House was in Congress for a couple of decades. Look, this is at the hands of Congress. They failed to do what they needed to do to secure our borders, of which she played a significant part in that failure. And with respect to humanitarian, again, Jane, you and I have talked about this. Tell me what is humane about this country incentivizing and facilitating the illegal immigration of unaccompanied kids and families and adults traveling through COVID hotspots, risking their lives. They're abused on their way up, you know, shoved in overcrowded, unsanitary stash houses and risking their lives to come across. I could keep going on and on. Yeah, please, I want somebody from this administration to tell me how that is humane.
By their own admission, it's a record number of children at the border as well. Now, in addition to the migrant surge, something that you and I have talked about a little bit and touched on a little bit is another huge issue at the border, and that's the influx of drugs. Last week, I spoke with West Virginia Senator Shelley Moore Capito. She's the former chairman of the Senate Homeland Security Appropriations Subcommittee, and this is what she had to say about drugs crossing the border. Take a listen to this.
When you have surges at the border like this, then the border agents can no longer be as disruptive to the flow of heroin, the flow of fentanyl, the flow of illegal drugs. And then that's more coming into our country because they're so stressed in trying to find out where these 100,000 people are that are coming across the border every month.
So, Mark, I got a question for you. Are the agents now who are tracking the smuggling of these drugs into the country, are they now refocusing their attention because of this?
Yeah, absolutely right. And look, I appreciate you bringing this up because we're not talking about this enough because, you know, we're talking about the unaccompanied minors and families and the crisis level numbers, of course. And again, we've been down this road before, especially in 2019. Look, the cartels and smuggling organizations now will use the families and unaccompanied minors to send a large group across, knowing that the Border Patrol resources will have to be pulled away from large areas of the border to deal with those crisis level numbers, leaving the border wide open for criminal aliens and drugs. But the senator's absolutely right. I've spoken to her multiple times. She knows what she's talking about. She's absolutely laser focused on the drugs and impact it has in this country. And mark my words, as the numbers increase, the threat to this country from drugs coming across exponentially increases every single day. And this administration has caused that.
Well, we're keeping an eye on it as well, and we hope we can talk to you later this week as well. Thanks so much, Mark, for joining us here. Have a good one.
You bet, Jan.